What's going on today, everybody? We're back in the fish room, and on today's video we are scaping out our 100-gallon tank that I was working on last video that I put all of my fish into, that I spent $1,000 on. Not all the fish went in here, but that $1,000 wasn't all fish per se. I bought some of that manganese wood or whatever you call it. That stuff leaches a lot of tannins that I learned. So I put the wood in. I'd say that's gonna work. That's a nice little pleco area. Also, I got 3 massive pieces of wood that were supposed to go in the stock tank, but I'd rather put them in here, and I'd rather do something a little more natural in the stock tank, like going out and finding wood and putting it in the stock tank. But these pieces are massive. They're pretty heavy too. So we'll see if we can get them fitted into this tank. Oh yeah, they're heavy. They're gonna sink right to the bottom. Yep, look at that. That's gonna look incredible. Yeah, it's gonna look sick in this tank. We have 3 of them now, so we should be able to link them up pretty good. That's a good standalone piece by itself. But with this wood, the plecos can also eat some of this wood. Almost forgot a sticker. Wouldn't have wanted to do that. Yeah, these are some dense pieces. They're kind of just going to be leaned up against the back for now because we don't have anything like for that to be nuzzled into. Like we don't have sand or any substrate in there for it to like sit in. So it's kind of just going to lean on the back side. But this one I should be able to put on top of these caves. That's a big should be. Look at this piece. Isn't that insane? Look at that. Isn't that wood insane? Now that's gonna look sick. Once I get substrate in there, imagine all white sand. It's gonna look, obviously the media out of there, it's gonna look incredible in here. I cannot wait for this tank to have much more fish in it. Oh my gosh. Look at that wood. That looks incredible. Are you kidding me? Look, we already got a green phantom laying underneath it right there. We got a green phantom back there. Green phantom hanging out here. Oh my gosh, this tank's gonna be sick when I'm done with it. I cannot wait to get this done. It is gonna look incredible. You guys will see that later. I put the wood in that day and it was looking good. It was looking crispy. And then 2 days later, this is what the tank looks like. Yeah. Pretty tannin stained, if you will. Yeah. The camera doesn't even want to pick up how tannined it is. Okay, ready? No tannins. Make sense? Just some brown algae. Brown algae will be fixed because I put a nice little wave maker in there behind these guys here. I also decided to move the Jack Dempsey in here. You can barely see her nose behind that rock. See the tip of her nose? Oops, see her? So we moved her in here because she's obviously not going to be able to breed in here when she beat up the male, who is still in here recovering. He has not perished at all. I don't know where he is, but he's in with the shell dwellers, just hanging out, probably behind this whole mess here. Anywho, back to our tank that we're going to be scaping. The plan is, because of all these tannins in here, we are going to need to do a water change. Now, when I say water change, I'm meaning we gotta do like at least a 50 to 75% water change to get rid of a lot of these tannins. Yes, the tannins are going to come back, but we'll just have to do another water change. Obviously, with this wood, we're just gonna have to keep up on it because we didn't boil it. If you boil this wood, or if any wood that you get, it will release most of its tannins, so you don't have to deal with them in your aquarium. But tannins with betta fish love tannins. Our green phantom plecos that we have in there, they don't mind tannins. But the same thing that I did down here, I did in here. I put you can't even see with all the glare. I put a nice wave maker all the way in the back of there, so we get nice circulation here. As you can tell, the betta fish are absolutely loving it. The betta fish are loving it. But it's so dark, it's so hard to see in here. That's a hopla cat right there, an albino hopla cat. And you can't even hardly tell because of the amount of tannins. It is insane. Let's see if we can get any other, our plecos way back in there, but you can't even see it. Plecos are not using the pleco caves, unfortunately. I don't even know where my green phantoms are. Probably back in that whole mess. What I'm going to do is, before we do a water change, I'm going to add our substrate, pea pebble and sand, into this first, because after I add that, it's gonna need a water change anyway because it's gonna stir some stuff up. I'm not gonna be able to get the pea pebbles perfectly clean. The sand won't have too much dirt in it, but the pea pebbles is gonna have some dirt in it. But I'm gonna try and clean it the best I can. I'll show you guys how I clean it when I do. Most of the time I don't clean it, I just toss it in there and hope for the best. But we're gonna try and clean it at least a little bit so we don't absolutely destroy the tank that's pretty much already destroyed with tannins. Now, tannins are usually good for fish, but it's not good for visually looking into there. AKA, all that wood used to leach. All that wood used to leach, but as you continually do water changes, continually get rid of the tannins, it slowly goes away. But with me letting it soak in here for 2 days, hopefully we got rid of a lot of the thick, heavy tannins. Yes, it's still going to release tannins, but slowly it will release less and less of them. So, enough talking. Let's get to cleaning some substrate, get it in here, and then tomorrow we're gonna do a fat water change. So, I'll show you guys how I clean these pea pebbles, huh? All right, so what I do here is I have a 2-bucket system. I got water in one, empty here with the pea pebbles. So, we're gonna put the pea pebbles, all of them, right into here, right? All right, that's about a half bucket worth, right? So now we're gonna add water slowly right till the water gets to the top of the rocks. That water's gonna get in there. Once the water's in there, you're gonna do it like a washing machine. Ready? You're gonna give it a nice shake. Once you got a nice shake, you're gonna wanna get rid of this water without trying to dump out all your pea pebbles you just rinsed. Now that's just the first rinse. Same thing. Fill it up with some water. Give it the old shake and bake. Splash water all over you. Don't be scared, you're gonna get a little wet. Don't be scared. Now I have seen people drill holes in the bucket. That's not as fun, right? Now that 100-gallon tank is gonna take about 2 50-pound bags of sand, or 2 50-pound bags of pea pebbles and 2 50-pound bags of sand. And that should give us just the right amount of substrate for the tank. All right, let's see how clean this is in the tank, shall we? All right, we got our bucket of our first bucket of pea pebbles here. And now we're just gonna try and go around all of our, ooh, that's gonna be dirty in there. All right, so it's gonna be hard to tell if we dirty anything up because I already dirtied it up. That's why we're doing a water change tomorrow. But we're just gonna get this yeeted right on in here. And hopefully it doesn't absolutely fill our pleco caves directly right there. And some will get in there. How are we gonna do this? I don't know yet. What's the best way to do this? Not sure, probably taking the lid off, but can't take the lid off without removing the lights, you know? Let's just see how this goes. All right, now let's go mix our second bucket and see what our coverage is looking like. Second bag going in. All right, now that the tank is in a horrible shape, we're just gonna go ahead and smooth all of our rocks out here. Get it to the back the best we can. Get around some of this wood. Get it underneath the wood. Try and put it behind the wood. Probably pick the wood up. Oh, that was a fish. Okay, that was kind of scary. Just kind of get it all smoothed out so it's somewhat even. And then we'll go ahead and yeet our sand right into it. So yeah, it's all by feel currently. Trying to find low and high spots. Again, we're gonna do a massive water change tomorrow, so I mean, heck, let's just add the sand now. We're gonna do the same method. Probably not. I'm just gonna dump it right in. We're just gonna do one bag and we'll just see if we need more. I'm just gonna give her the old dumpski. This is some of that bougie play sand I got off Amazon. Not your typical Home Depot play sand. The stuff's a little whiter. Is it gonna help our case in here? I don't know. Is it gonna dump in there nice? It's gonna dump in there real nice. Is one bag gonna do it? I have no idea. Let's find out together. Again, I have no clue how much this is actually covering because I can't see. So, we're just winging it. That was a clump. Okay, you can see in the front, it's covering. I think we're gonna get away with one bag. In she goes. Let's get that leaf out. We don't need to add to our tannins, huh? Hey, that covered pretty well. Now, obviously the sand's not just going to sit on top like that. It's going to mix into that gravel. As you can see, it's already mixed in a little bit here. It's gonna mix into it and make a cohesive substrate for us. This is the first time I've used this sand, so we're gonna see how well it actually works. But the sand looks cool up against them pea pebbles though. That looks pretty cool, right? See how it's already mixed in there? But yeah, like I said, hey, there's a betta fish. Kind of hard to see right now, so We're gonna let this simmer. There's probably gonna be a whole bunch of gunk sitting on top of our white sand, but again, we're going to kind of let this settle. Got a little beta fish playing in front. We're gonna let this settle, and we're gonna do a probably 75% water change on this tank tomorrow. And then, after we get that bad boy filled up, we're gonna do some scaping. The best scaping we can do with the plants that we got. So, I'll catch you guys tomorrow when we get finishing this tank. It's time to drain this bad boy down. Yes, the tannins have not gotten any better, but hey, it's clearer, well, much clearer than what it was when I added the substrate, as you could see. Actually, I laid it out pretty level. It's just super hard to see in there because of the amount of tannins and the amount of glare from all the lights. So yeah, we're gonna empty it probably 75–80% water change on this bad boy. We'll steal all the water from the stock tank so the temperatures don't switch or swing too much. And then we can just fill that stock tank up with the cold water whenever we get to it. So, plug the pump in, shoot the water right outside. As you can see, it's lowered. Now, since you can actually see, Jake had a good idea. Let's scape it with the water pretty much gone. I've never done that. Usually I just fill it up right away and then scape it, get my arm all wet, you know. Let's try and do it without the water being full. Let's just see how it goes. Now, the plants I have to steal. I don't have plants to buy. I don't have none of that, but I do have plants I can steal that aren't doing the greatest in the other tanks. So, Exhibit A. In the piranha tank down here, there are a couple swords, Amazon swords, that are not doing great. AKA this guy right here. See, he just got barely any roots. Still alive, but barely any roots. Same with the one over here. I'm kind of nervous. I did not feed the piranhas today. Same thing over here. Little bit of good root growth. Get you a little better. See, we got a couple, that's all dead roots, but we got a couple nice white roots as well. Hopefully they bounce back, but this is a good contender to kind of start with to put in our new tank. This does take highlight, so kind of just hoping they do good in there. In this tank, same thing. We got a sword back there in the back that's doing obviously better than what I just pulled out, but a sword is usually ginormous. So, we might as well pull that bad boy out of here. I'm not nervous to stick my hand in here. Ain't nobody gonna eat me in here. I'm gonna pull this guy out in here. Much better roots, but just much better roots, but just not as exuberant, if you would. Little bit of ockiness. So we got 3 swords. Now, also what we're gonna steal out of here that I love is this corkscrew valve sitting here in the front. Just this whole block. I'm taking it all. Look at the roots on that. That's beautiful growth right there. Hopefully, we can start a nice colony in that tank. Now, I'm thinking we're also going to need some crypts in this guy. Also, there are a whole bunch of crypts in here. There's so many in here, they're kind of crowded out. So we have an itty bitty little crypt here. Look at this little guy. He was trying to grow. He's just so little, and I think the fish just kept messing him up. Roots are still good. We'll see if he does a little bit better in our other tank. Well, unless it KO'd on me. I thought I had one. Maybe not. But I can just steal one from another tank. But guess what we have in here? We have some Anubias petite. I mean, if that thing's gonna keep leaching tannins, we might as well do some low light plants in there. That'll probably grow darn well. A little bit of hair algae, not too bad. Oh, look at that. You guys ever seen snail eggs on a leaf before? That's snail eggs. Let's just get rid of those. We don't need no snail. We don't need no snails in there. Let's see. See, now that's a good looking sword there. That's what a sword should look like. You see that green vibrancy in the middle of it? You can kind of see the deadness on the sides, and then the vibrant green in the middle. That's a healthy sword. Let's try some boosts in there as well. We might as well. I got it in here. Oh, here's some more petite. Just a random nibble of it. Alrighty. Let's start with the easy stuff first. Our swords. We might be able to skosh this one in half. Oh yeah. Now we got 4 swords in 7 years ago. No? It was worth a shot. I reached. That was a reach. It was a good reach. I liked it. It was a reach. It wasn't a bad reach. It was a calculated reach. It was calculated. Not proud of it. Hey, you gotta shoot your shot. You gotta shoot your shot, or else you never know if it'll make it. Something like that. Anywho, swords. We got 4 of them. And I kind of want to cover up our sponge, well, that sponge filter's super covered up. We can cover this guy up. Let's just kind of try and cover up our sponge filter with our little bit healthier sword here. Again, all of them are not super healthy. All right, let's put one kind of dead center, but like kind of not dead center, but like kind of dead center. Let's put one here. It's going to be so hard to like see these because they're so small. They will come back, hopefully, I promise. Now our crypts, they're going to get planted nice. Crypts get pretty big too, so we kind of want them towards the back. Let's put you here. Now for our, this is the worst stuff to plant because like, look, they're so teeny tiny. They chain together too, so we could split it up. All into individual stuff, but I'm gonna try and grow it in patches just to see if it'll actually go. Again, we're just going to plop this stuff right in the front because it stays fairly short. Just plant it kind of in a cluster. Why would that be in my head? SpongeBob. got her all scaped up. Now to fill her back up, I don't really want this to make a mess. So this is a crazy idea. I don't even know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try putting the hose into the top of the sponge filter. Just hope it doesn't dig a hole in the sand.
Aren't you just gonna blow out all the stuff that got filtered?
I don't know yet. I don't know if this is gonna work or not yet. We are going to find out in 3, 2, 1. Here she comes. That was anticlimactic, if you will. Meaning, that's gonna work perfect. But yeah, we got some boosts. I grabbed more boosts, so most of the plants in the wood is either Anubias petite or some Bucephalandra. And yeah, we also added some moss on our sponge filter that I had in there, and it works great as a holder for all that goodies. So yeah, now we're just gonna wait for this bad boy to fill up, and hopefully we can actually see in there. Now it's just a waiting game. All right, it's the next day because my audio just stopped working at the outro, but this is how the tank's looking. It's looking pretty crispy. Completely filled up. They pulled some of my plants out, AKA one of, or two of our corkscrew valve, but hey, after one day, it's not that tanned. It's actually not that bad. Betta fish are out swimming in the front. You gotta love that. I did see our albino hopla catfish out here. You can see the tail of a green phantom. But yeah, I don't see anybody else. Nobody else wants to come out and play. They're all hiding in the back of that crevasse in there. So yeah, hopefully they warm up a little bit to us. Obviously, the betta fish, they aren't scared. But yeah, the fish should extrapolate significantly as the weeks and months go on. But yeah, we might only have to do like one more water change. I expected this to be absolutely tannin filled again, but I mean, it's not that terrible. A couple, probably 2 more water changes, and this thing's gonna look crystal clear like the rest of them. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. Next video, we got a lot of fish to move around, to get some babies moved that are grown up, get some babies moved that the guppies had. A lot of stuff needs to get done. So, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.